ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Good morning everybody. So we are discussing moving charges and magnetism. In that we already discussed about Biot-Savart's law. What is that Biot-Savart's law? We know dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by r square. This is the magnetic field due to the current carrying conductor. Magnetic field due to the current carrying conductor. That current carrying conductor may be a straight wire. That current carrying conductor may be a straight wire or circular current carrying conductor, whatever it is, or it's a triangle shape or square shape, whatever it is. So the magnetic field associated with the current carrying conductor can be written as mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. So what is the direction of the magnetic field? Direction of the magnetic field. So that can be defined. Direction of the magnetic field, right hand thumb rule. If the curling of the fingers indicates the direction of the flow of current, curling of the fingers indicates the direction of the current, thumb indicates the direction of magnetic field. Or if the thumb indicates the direction of the current, curling of the fingers indicates the direction of the magnetic field. So both are correct. So that's based on this. Now in this we can discuss now magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor. Magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor. Magnetic field due to straight current carrying conductor. How can we calculate this? See here, let us say this is the straight current carrying conductor of certain length, straight current carrying conductor. Now we have to calculate the magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor at this position. So let us say this is the extreme end and it is the extreme end of the conductor. So let us say it is perpendicular distance d from the conductor. Let us say it's a point P. Here the current flowing upwards, let us say this is the direction of flow of current I. Here the current flowing upward direction. So now what is the direction of the what is the magnitude of the magnetic field at the point P due to this current carrying conductor? That's we have to calculate. See here, this angle is alpha and this angle is beta. So from this point onwards, here we are measuring the angle in the anti-clockwise direction, that is alpha, in the clockwise direction, that is beta. Anti-clockwise direction, clockwise. This is the line. From this line onwards, we are calculating the angle alpha in the anti-clockwise direction. We are calculating the beta in the clockwise direction. So generally any angle must be measured in the anti-clockwise direction is considered as positive, and the angle measured in the clockwise direction are considered as negative. Anti-clockwise direction angle is positive, clockwise direction angle is negative. So now, just for our convenience, I am considering the small length element dy at an angle phi and it is theta at a distance y from the center. So let us say it is the center O. I am considering a small length element dy. Here we are considering the small length element dy at a distance y from the O at an angle phi and it is theta. This is 90. So from the diagram P like this, angle phi plus angle theta plus 90 is equals to 180. Angle phi plus angle theta plus 90 is equals to 180. So that means angle phi plus angle theta is equals to 90. So from this we can write phi is equals to 90 minus theta, or theta is equals to 90 minus phi. Angle phi plus angle theta, from this right angle triangle, total angle in the triangle is 180. So that's why phi can be written as 90 minus theta, or theta can be written as 90 minus phi, or theta is equals to 90 minus phi. So that is the situation in this condition. So now here magnetic field due to small length element, magnetic field due to the small length element dy at point P is small length element dy at the point P. So here dy is the small length element I am considering. Dy is the small length element I am considering here. Due to the small length element dy, what is the magnetic field associated at the point P? So that is, according to the Biot-Savart's law, dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dy sin theta by r square. Let us say it is the distance r. Mu naught by 4 pi I dy sin theta, actually ideal sin theta, but here I am considering the small length element dy, small length element dy. So mu naught by 4 pi I dy sin theta by r square, I dy sin theta by r square. So but actually this is the situation, but from the diagram, let us say equation 1 it is. So from diagram what we can write, tan phi is equals to, from diagram tan phi is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. So that is y by d, opposite side is y, adjacent side is d. So from this y can be written as d tan phi. From that we can write y is equals to d tan phi. So differentiating on both sides, differentiating on both sides. So dy is equals to d into, differentiation of tan phi is secant square phi d phi. Partial differentiation on both sides, we can get dy is equals to d into, differentiation of tan phi is secant square phi d phi. So this is the value of dy here. We got one value dy. So now next, from the diagram only we can write cos phi is equals to, adjacent side by hypotenuse. From this right angle triangle, cos phi can be written as adjacent side by hypotenuse, that is d by r. So from this we can write r is equals to d by cos phi, or that implies r is equals to d secant phi. R is equals to d secant phi. That is the situation. So cos phi is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Cos phi is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is d, hypotenuse is r. So that's why r can be written as d cos phi. 1 by cos phi is secant phi. R is equals to d secant phi. Next, and we know theta is equals to 90 minus phi. Substitute all these values in equation 1. So from this, magnetic field dB can be written as, what we can write, mu naught by 4 pi I dy, dy in the sense secant square phi d phi. In place of dy, I am substituting d secant square phi d phi. In place of dy, d secant square phi d phi. Next, sin theta. In place of theta, what we can substitute? 90 minus theta. And sin of 90 minus theta divided by, what is the value of r again? D secant phi. D secant phi whole square. So therefore dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I d secant square phi d phi cos phi divided by d square secant square phi. So from this secant square phi gets cancelled, 1d gets cancelled. So dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi d, mu naught I by 4 pi d. I remaining, d square, d remaining, cos phi d phi. So that is the remaining value, mu naught I by 4 pi d cos phi d phi. So next, integrating on both sides, total magnetic field dB is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into integral of cos phi d phi. So the value varies from beta to alpha angle. So that is from this point onwards, this is alpha and this is beta. Upper angle is alpha, lower angle is beta, like that. So from this B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d integral of cos phi d phi sin phi in between the limits beta and alpha. So B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d, first substitute upper limit sin alpha minus lower limits minus of sin minus beta. Why it is minus beta sign? In the anti-clockwise direction angle is positive, but clockwise direction angle is negative. So that's why I am substituting minus beta. So from this B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Sin of minus theta minus sin theta, minus of minus plus. This is the magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor, mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. So this is the magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor, simple derivation. So main thing, this is the I am considering the small length element dy here, small length element dy. Based on that length element dy, what is the magnetic field at the point P? Just we calculated small magnetic field mu naught by 4 pi I dy sin theta by r square. Generally that is based on Biot-Savart's law. So from the diagram, what we can write? Tan phi, opposite side by adjacent side, y by d, y is equals to d tan phi. So dy is equals to d secant square phi d phi. Next, again cos phi adjacent side by hypotenuse, d by r, r is equals to 1 by cos phi is secant phi. Very good. So just substitute these values in this, just like this, that's it, simply. Finally we get integral of cos phi d phi. Integral of cos phi d phi is sin phi. One angle is positive, one angle is negative. Why the one angle is positive? Here alpha is measured, this from this line onwards we are measuring the angle. Here alpha must be measured in anti-clockwise direction, so that's why that is positive. Beta must be measured in clockwise direction, that's why that is negative. So that is the magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor. Now, okay. What is the direction of the magnetic field here? That is important. What is the direction here? So to calculate the direction, we must consider right hand thumb rule only. We must consider right hand thumb rule only. We don't use any other See here. So this is the straight current carrying conductor. Here the current is passing upwards like this. Now we are calculating the magnetic field at this point. So like this, let us say this is alpha and this is beta. How much we got? Beta is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d. What is d? This is the distance d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Okay. What is the direction of the magnetic field? So we must use right hand thumb rule. Don't use the left hand. If you use the left hand, the direction must be opposite. Don't use left hand. We must use right hand. So right hand thumb rule. What is the direction of the current carrying conductor? Upwards. Thumb indicates the direction of the current here. Thumb indicates the direction of the current. So stretch your thumb in the direction of current carrying, in the direction of the current, and the curling of the fingers indicates the direction of the magnetic field. So that is, this is here, this is the direction of the magnetic field. So now, what is the direction of the magnetic field in the left? So this is the conductor. We have right side of the conductor, left side of the conductor. Right side of the conductor as well as left side of the conductor. See here, this is the thumb. Right side of the conductor, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. Right side of the conductor, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. Left side of the conductor, the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. Left side of the conductor. So in the left side and right side, the direction of the magnetic field must be in opposite direction, may not be the same. Direction of the magnetic field must be in opposite direction. See here, curling of the fingers. This is the thumb. This is the direction of the current. Right hand side, fingers moving inwards. The fingers, curling of the fingers means this is inwards. So the direction of the magnetic field on the right side of the conductor is inwards. But while coming to the left hand side, so the direction of the curling of the fingers is outwards. The direction of the fingers is outwards. So that's why here the direction of the current and the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. This dot indicates outwards and this indicates inwards. So that means on both sides of the conductor, the direction of the magnetic field must be in opposite direction of the current carrying. So that means inward like this. So for example, this is a straight current carrying conductor and stretch your hand, stretch your thumb indicating. So right side of the conductor, what is the direction of the magnetic field? Upwards. Above the conductor, direction of the magnetic field like this. Left hand side downwards and this is. So continuously the direction of the magnetic field must be changes around the straight current carrying conductor. Remember that magnetic field, direction of the magnetic field must not be the same. It changes from side to side. So like this. So it's a right hand thumb rule. Stretch your thumb in the direction of the current. Curling of the fingers indicates direction of magnetic field. See here, right side. What is the direction of the fingers? Inwards. In the left side, outwards. So that's why. And applications of this. So this symbol indicates direction of the magnetic field is outwards. This symbol indicates the direction of magnetic field is inwards. And if the direction of the current is reversed, so that's why this is. Thumb indicates the direction of the current, curling of the fingers. So that means this side the direction of the current is, direction of the magnetic field is inwards. And this side the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. That means if the direction of the current is reversed, the direction of the magnetic field also reversed. So if it is inwards, next case outwards. If it is outwards in the previous case, in this situation it is inwards like that. So now in this one, first case, if alpha is equals to beta. In this situation, if alpha is equals to beta. Now B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin alpha. So that is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into 2 sin alpha, mu naught I by 2 pi d into sin alpha. This is the magnetic field. For example, this is alpha and this is d. Next, for example, so based on this, if you know this value and this value, if you know this value, then we can calculate the value of alpha, sin alpha, opposite side by hypotenuse simply. So for example, it is of the distance y, then b is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d into sin alpha and y by square root of d square plus y square. This is y, this is d, hypotenuse is d square plus y square, Pythagoras theorem. So based on this we can calculate this one also, if alpha equals to beta it is. Now second situation, if alpha is equals to beta is equals to 0, if alpha equals to beta equals to 0, where this situation is possible? So that means on the current carrying conductor, on the current carrying conductor, on the current carrying conductor. So this means alpha equals to beta equals to 0 on the current carrying conductor. So that means B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin 0 plus sin 0, that is 0. So that means if the point on the current carrying conductor, if at any point on the current carrying conductor the magnetic field is 0, at any point on the current carrying conductor magnetic field must be equal to 0. Next one more. So next condition, if the wire of infinite length, if the wire of infinite length, then what happens? If the wire of infinite length, then what is the magnetic field? If the wire of infinite length, so at the center or at the middle of the wire, so that means alpha is equals to beta is equals to 90. Alpha equals to beta is equals to 90. So this wire is infinite length. So at this point, let us say here I am considering this wire is infinite length. Infinite length means not possible to measure the length. So that's why alpha value, beta value is considered as 90 degrees. So therefore B is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin 90 plus sin 90. So that is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into 2, mu naught I by 2 pi d. B is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d. So this is the situation. When this situation, if wire of infinite length, so this is the infinite length of the wire at the middle. Middle means it is not possible. What is the middle of the infinite length? So that is not possible. So generally we can consider in that situation alpha equals to beta equals to 90. So beta, the magnetic field can be written as mu naught I by 2 pi d, mu naught I by 2 pi d. Next, if the wire of infinite length at one end of the wire, wire of infinite length at one end of the wire. So that means here this wire starts at this position and it is at infinite length. Now we have to calculate the magnetic field at one end of the length. one end, and other end is infinite, not possible to calculate. So that's why one angle is 0 and one angle is 90. Here this angle is 0 and another angle is 90. So then beta is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin 0 plus sin 90. So therefore beta is b is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi d. So that is the situation. So it is a completely infinite length at middle. So both angles must be 90s. So in that situation it is mu naught I by 2 pi d. In that situation the magnetic field is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi d. But here at one end of the wire, and other end is infinite length. That infinite length, that means the wire starts from, this is the starting point of the wire. Next it is exists up to infinite length, and this wire, current carrying wire, exists up to infinite length. Then at this point, how can we calculate the magnetic field? So one angle must be 0, another angle must be 90. So that is mu naught I by 4 pi d. So these are the applications based on this current carrying due to the, magnetic field due to the straight current carrying wire. Magnetic field due to the straight current carrying wire. Next, for example, 3 straight current carrying conductors are arranged in the form of a triangle. 3 straight current carrying conductors arranged in the form of a triangle. So this is the direction of the current. This is the direction of the current. Then find the magnitude of the magnetic field at the centroid of the triangle. Find magnetic field at the centroid of the triangle due to 3 conductors. That is the question here it is. So here we have to calculate the, so this is the straight point. First we have to calculate magnetic field due to the one conductor, then we can multiply with 3. So centroid means for all these 3 conductors this point is equidistance. For all these 3 conductors this point is equidistance. So that's why first we have to calculate the magnetic field due to the one conductor at the centroid. So this total angle, here the total angle is 120, this angle will be 60 and this angle will be 60. At the centroid this total angle is 120, that's why this is 60 and this is 60. So what is this distance we have to calculate first of all? What is the centroid? So let us say this is the length L, and first we have to calculate this is also L. So from this is centroid, this means L by 2. So this total distance is foot of perpendicular distance or length of foot of the perpendicular is equals to square root of L square minus L square by 4. So that is root 3 by 2 L. So this is L and this is L by 2. We have to calculate this one. So root 3 by 2 L. Root 3 by 2 L. So the length of the foot of the perpendicular. But the centroid cuts this into 2:1 ratio. Centroid cuts this length into 2:1 ratio. So that means, so root 3 by 2 L divided by 3. So total 3 parts. So that means L by 2 root 3, that is the one part. This is the total distance, total foot of the perpendicular distance of the triangle. Length of the foot of the perpendicular distance, that is root 3 by 2 L. Here the centroid cuts this foot of the perpendicular into 2:1 ratio. So that means this is 2 parts and this is 1 part. This is 2 parts and this is 1 part. So total how many parts? 3 parts. That's why this is the total length, root 3 by 2 L. Just I am divided with 3. So that means what is the length of the each part? L by 2 root 3. Length of the each part is L by 2 root 3. So this is 2 parts here and this is 1 part. So what is the 1 part value? L by 2 root 3. Now, so this is the O, C, A, B, D. Here OC is 2 parts. So that is equals to 2 into L by 2 root 3. So that is L by root 3. And OD is 1 part. So that is equals to 1 into L by 2 root 3, that is L by 2 root 3. So this centroid cuts the length into 2:1 ratio, that is this is 2 parts and this is 1 part. So the distance OD is L by 2 root 3. So therefore magnetic field at point O, magnetic field at point O. So B is equals to mu naught I by, general formula mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. So here B can be written as mu naught I by 4 pi, what is the D value OD? L by 2 root 3, that is L by 2 root 3 into sin 60 plus sin 60, sin 60 plus sin 60 angle. So therefore B is equals to mu naught I into 2 root 3 divided by 4 pi L, 4 pi L into, so 2 into root 3 by 2, 2 into root 3 by 2. So because sin 60 value is root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2 plus root 3 by 2, 2 into root 3 by 2. So 2 gets cancelled, 2 2s are. So B is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi L, root 3 into 3, root 3, 3. So B is equals to 3 mu naught I by 2 pi L, 3 mu naught I by 2 pi L. This is the magnetic field due to the one conductor, only one conductor, magnetic field due to the one conductor. So here we are considering only magnetic field due to the one conductor only. How many conductors we have? 3 conductors. So therefore total magnetic field due to 3 conductors. So B total is equals to 3 into B. So 3 into 3 mu naught I by 2 pi L. So that is equals to 9 mu naught I by 2 pi L. That is the total magnetic field due to the current carrying conductors. 3 current carrying conductors are arranged in the form of a triangle. 3 current carrying conductors are arranged in the form of a triangle. What is the total magnetic field? So that is equals to 9 mu naught I by 2 pi L. So, due to 1 it is 3 mu naught I by 2 pi L, but due to 3 9 mu into 3 just simple it. Then what is the direction of the magnetic field? So, that is important. What is the direction of the magnetic field? So, here this is the straight current carrying conductor, that means thumb indicates the direction of the current, and above this conductor, what is the curling of the fingers above the conductor? Outwards. Above the conductor it is outwards, below the conductor inwards. See here, curling of the fingers. So, this one above the conductor the curling of the fingers is outwards, and below the conductor the curling of the fingers is inwards. But where we are calculating the magnetic field? Where we are calculating the magnetic field? Above the conductor. So, above the conductor the direction of magnetic field is outwards. And due to this one, so this is the direction of the current carrying conductor. This is the direction of the current carrying conductor. In this direction, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. But when come to this point, the direction of the magnetic, so here this is the direction of the conductor, curling of the fingers like this. At this position, the curling of the fingers is inwards, but come to this position, the direction of the curling of the fingers is outwards. So, right side and left side, the direction of the magnetic field is in different direction. So, that is why here in this side the direction of the magnetic field is inwards, but come to this point the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. Due to this one outwards, due to this one also outwards. Then come to this. This is the direction of the current, and above this inwards, above this point inwards, but come to this position the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. So, like this is the direction of the current carrying conductor. At this position curling of the fingers is inwards. So, the magnetic field is inwards. When come to this position the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. So, here the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. So, total direction of the magnetic field is outwards. So, this is the way to calculate the net magnetic field due to the different conditions. So, next Next, find magnetic field due to 4 conductors are arranged in the form of square. Find the magnetic field to the 4 conductors arranged in the form of a square. See here, this is the square like this, this is the square, so 4 current carrying conductors here. Now, we have to calculate the magnetic field exactly at the center, magnetic field exactly at the center of the square like this. Let us say L is the length of the square, each side is L. Like this. Then what is this distance? L by 2. So, let us say it is the point O. So, A, B, C, D. So, in the same ways, first we have to calculate the magnetic field due to the one side and then multiply. because centroid in the sense, center in the sense, from all the faces it is at the equidistance. From all the faces it is at the equidistance. So from this also it is L by 2, from this also it is L by 2, from this also it is L by 2. Here the angle is 90. So square means sides are equal, that is 45 it is, and it is also 45. So alpha is equals to beta is equals to 45 degrees angle, and D is equals to here L by 2. D is equals to L by 2. This total length is L and center means this is L by 2. Now calculate the first, what is the magnetic field due to one side? Magnetic field due to one side of the, so let us say this is one side, this is the direction of the current flowing. Magnetic field due to the one side. So B is equals to general formula mu naught I by 4 pi d into sin alpha plus sin beta. So that is equals to mu naught I by 4 pi into D value is how much? L by 2. So sin 45 plus sin 45. So that is equals to mu naught I by 2 pi L into 2 sin 45. So that is mu naught I by pi L it is, let us say. 2 also gets cancelled, sin 45 1 by root 2. So therefore magnetic field is equals to mu naught I by root 2 pi L. This is the magnetic field due to the one side of the conductor. Magnetic field due to the one side of the conductor B is equals to mu naught I by root 2 pi L. Then magnetic field due to the all sides. So magnetic field at O due to all sides. So B net is equals to, how many sides we have? 4. So 4 into mu naught I by root 2 pi L. So this can be written as 4 by root 2, that is 2 root 2. 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi L. 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi L. So that is the magnetic field. Then what is the direction it is? Net value of the magnetic field is equals to 2 root 2 mu naught I by pi L. Then what is the direction? Here how can you calculate the direction? See here. So this is the straight current carrying conductor. So stretch your thumb into the direction of the current, curling of the fingers. Curling of the, at this position, what is the direction of curling of the fingers? Outwards. So due to this position, this is the straight current carrying conductor. Right side of this conductor, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards, and here the magnetic field is outwards. And next this one, above the conductor the direction of the magnetic field is inwards, and below the conductor it is outwards. So for this also, this is the direction of the current, this is inwards and here it is outwards. So the total magnetic field due to this one is outwards only. Total magnetic field is outwards. So this is the magnetic field due to the straight current in this one application. Now you people can try. See here. So hexagon, all sides are equal here. So at the center, what is the magnetic field due to this? At this point, due to all these conductors, all are having same magnitude. All are having same magnitude, that is 6. First calculate due to 1 into 6, then you can get that at this point. So this angle becomes 30 and this angle also becomes 30, 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. So, that is the situation. Right. You can try this one.